Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TechGig webinar series, our endeavor to empower techies. We believe that sharing of knowledge is the key to enhance our skills and grow us as professionals. With this principle in mind, we have initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to give you all a crisp insight of various domains. The topic of today's session is Develop Portal Mobile Applications Using Web Experience Factory. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Vaibhav Jain, IBM Portal Specialist at IBM. Weber holds extensive experience in Portal and J2EE technologies. He has helped various government and enterprise organizations in creating Portal for their employees, clients, partners, and citizens. His extensive experience helped these organizations to build rapidly complex and user-engaging experience portals. He helps organizations and developers to build enterprise-class, user-engaging exceptional web experience using IBM technology. So without further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Mr. Jain.
Thank you. So good evening to everyone. Today we will be talking about IBM Web Experience Factory, which is an IDE, integrated development environment for developing exceptional experience using IBM Portal and mobile applications, as well as the multi-channel applications. So in today's scenario, when we generally talk about rapid development, there are few things which everybody asks, whether it's a development team, whether it's a management team, or the client team. They want to get the results on time. Developer wants to do more things with lesser efforts. They want to fine-tune their skills so that they can learn new technologies. Team managers want to enable new team members very quickly, and at the same time they want to ensure that whatever software or the piece of code is being developed, it ensures that it is of proper quality. So how exactly IBM can help you is through IBM Web Experience Factory, which is a key tool to develop exceptional web experiences. So it helps you to create fast and simple development of enterprise multi-channel applications. So using Web Experience Factory, you can develop any type of application, whether it's an internet application, whether it's internet application, or it's a mobile application. It gives you the platform using which you can develop application. You have to write the code once, and it can be deployed to multiple places and can be accessed from multiple devices like your laptops, like the desktop browsers, like the mobile phones, smartphones, or the tablets. So what exactly is Web Experience Factory? As I said earlier, Web Experience Factory is a standard-based IDE which helps developers to create standards-based applications or the portlets. It simplifies the process and it speeds the development by providing 150 plus out-of-the-box builders. So when you start using Web Experience Factory, you see that there are more than 100 builders which are available as a part of the IDE, which anyone can use. It also provides various backend connectors, like if you want to connect it with SAP application, Oracle CRM application, PeopleSoft application, you don't have to write the code for it. What you have to do is you have to just use the connector, you have to just use the builder, and using that builder, you have to develop that application. So a very cumbersome process to integrate it like external applications like SAP can be achieved within very few minutes. And it also provides you functionality using which you can develop multi-channel applications. So when I talk about multi-channel, what exactly it means? It means that using the same code, the same very code which you have written once can be accessed from the desktop browser. It will have a desktop browser interface. When the same URL will be accessed from an iPad or the tablet, the display of the display of the particular URL will be changed as per the resolution available within the tablet. And when the same URL is accessed from the smartphones, the information is in a trimmed manner, but for all the views, whether it's a smartphone or the iPad, the tablet, or the desktop browser, you have to write the code once. I'll talk about it more in my coming slides. So as I said, it's a one tool, multiple platform and devices. So it's a one tool, one IDE using which you can develop your applications. These applications can be deployed on top of WebSphere application server, which is an application server. Web Experience Factory IDE provides you WAS community editions, which comes bundled with the Experience Factory with the IDE. So that for the test environment, you can deploy that CE on your desktop and test the applications locally. You also have the provision that while exporting the application, you can say that export this as Portlet. So the same can be deployed on the WebSphere Portlet. Now, these applications can be accessed from browsers, smartphones, or the tablets. So it maximizes the coverage, it maximizes reuse of code, it minimizes time effort to train skill in multi-channel development because it provides so many builders which are provided out of the box. Plus, it also provides 100+ samples which are available to everyone to download from the IBM Web Experience Factory wiki. At the end of the session, I will be showing you all the URLs, all the places from where you can go download these samples, download these builders, and as well as I will also give you reference URLs to get trained by yourself. So moving to the next slide. Web Experience Factory automates the design patterns. So it consists three things. One is the builder, second is the model, and third one is the profile. Sorry. So builder is a wizard-based approach using which you can generate the code. You don't have to write the code. You can generate the whole code using the wizard process only. That is the part of the builder. Now using multiple builders, you can create a model. For an example, if you are looking to create one registration module or one registration approach which can contain or consist multiple pages to provide the information. So here multiple builders can be used to get that information, and a single model can be created for creating the overall process, which is the registration process. So you can compare registration process as a model, and now there are sub-steps, sub-set of information which can be taken as a part of the builder. So here builder can be used in multiple scenarios, in multiple ways, like getting the information or connecting it to the backend system, validating the information, displaying the information. So all these type of information or the task can be used as the builders. Now you can use these builders and create a single model. Now on this model, you can then apply multiple profiles. So a person who is unauthenticated can have a different view. A person who's authenticated can have a different view. Even in the after authenticated, you can have different views for the different groups or the roles. I'll be speaking more about this in my later slides. Before that, we will be just going through few features which the WebSphere, which the Web Experience Factory provides out of the box. Like this is one, which is enhanced JavaScript editing with autocomplete. Web Experience Factory is based on Eclipse platform. If anybody has ever used Eclipse platform, he will find it very handy to use it, because what we have done as an IBM is we have taken the Eclipse platform on the base. On top of that, we have provided so many features and plugins so that developers can develop these applications very rapidly and with very simple process. We also provide you CSS style editor and the property sheets. So using which what you see is what you get display based. You can simply drag and drop the components from the left panel to here, which is the design area. You can see the runtime display of the design section. So whatever you are developing at the same instance, you can see that how it is going to look like when it is going to run in the browser or as a final application. You also have predefined page layouts for construction of common page layouts using drag and drop. So what as an excuse me. So what as an ID it provides is it provides you multiple page layouts which come out of the box. So what you have to do, you have to simply drag and drop. You have to just then define the properties of these layouts, that how you want to structure the information. You want to structure the information in 2-column tabular layout, or in 3-column tabular layout, or in the multiple column, or you want to have one row on the top, then there is a 2-column bottom to that. So the way you want, you can structure structure that. These are the page layouts which are provided out of the box with the ID. You can also create your custom page layouts. It is again very simple to create these page layouts. It also provides you advanced user interface components. So Dojo is the JavaScript component using which you can create advanced level interfaces. So if you want to create a checkbox or date and time picker, you don't have to basically write the code or get it somewhere from the external world. These all builders are provided with the ID, so you have to simply drag and drop. So by using all these functionalities, you can create a very exceptional web experience for your customers. Here, clients can define the sorting order of the table columns, can drag and drop and resize the column as per their requirement. It also provides you paging controls and other things. So generally these capabilities are provided by the Dojo widgets, which are part of the IDE. Here, as you can see, it is Web 2.0 functionality. Just like your traditional spreadsheet, you can do the inline editing, you can do the column reordering and resizing. So all these JavaScript components are bundled with Web Experience Factory IDE itself. Now, quickly moving to the technology concepts of the Web Experience Factory. So when we talk about creating a project or understanding the structure of the Web Experience Factory, it is majorly done using 3 components, which are builders, models, and profiles. So what are those components? Here, as you can see, builders basically are adaptive reusable components, which can be Java, which can be XML. Now, using these reusable components at the runtime, it generates different code based on the profile you have applied. So a profile is a set of parameters that vary builder inputs to dynamically generate unique versions of the portlet. A profile, you can map it with the department roles, department groups, type of user agents like your smartphone, your tablet, or the desktop browser. So based on these profiles, these builders can behave differently and can generate the code or the UI differently. Now the combination of builder and profile becomes a model. So a model contains multiple builders. Builders captures design intelligence and automate the creation of code. So what you have to do, you have to choose a builder. I want to use this specific builder, and after choosing the builder, you have to just go through the wizard-like interface where you will provide the input, and at the end of the process, when you want to publish or run the project, it will automatically generate the code for you. Let's map these builders to some real life examples. As many of you have already seen that these are the pieces, right? In childhood, children used to play with these kind of games where they have got the blocks, they have to join these blocks and create some meaningful objects. Now here you can compare these bricks as builders, which can help you to implement low or high level patterns. So one pattern could be like this. Using those bricks, we have created one object, right? So it's an application. You can define it as a model as well. So this is a model, this is a model, this is an application which can be created using those builders. It is just the way you have defined to place those builders. Or you can create a different object using the same builders. Now, if you just think over here at a low level, you are not redesigning a brick. We have not redesigned or created the new bricks. What we have done is we have just restructured those bricks, the low level components which we have created earlier, right, in such a manner that we can create a different layout or different experience for the user. So this is how the overall process works in terms of Web Experience Factory. First of all, you have collection of builders. Now these collection of builders can be out of the box provided, which are 100 and plus builders which are provided with Web Experience Factory, or you can write your own builder. It is very simple to write or to create own builder. Now on this collection of builder, we have created one model. When we apply this model along with the profile, then it can give different output. Now if we say that the profile is sports person, then we can see that we get the output like this one. But if we say the profile is of traveler, then the output could be like this. So as you can see, the builder and the code which we have written is the same, but it automatically on the runtime identifies that what is the profile, and based on the profile it can define the output. That is how it increases the delivery time and reduces the development time. So in the same manner, it automates frequently occurring development tasks. So what you have to do, you have to create the design pattern for once, you have to create the builder, you have to create the model once. Now based on the model or the builders, you can define that what is the output you are looking for. So the same piece of the code can be used multiple times. As I said earlier, Web Experience Factory provides you 100 and plus Portlet factory builders. These are in factors of generate user interfaces, SOA, Ajax technology, REST capability, Dojo frameworks, widgets, mobile themes, WCM enhancement, and CMIS integration. Using these builders and the models, you can create service-oriented architecture, or what we call as SOA. Here, as you can see on the left-hand side, these are the backend connectors or the builders which are connecting your application to the database or to some other backend data sources. On the front end, you can have presentation builders, or you can have UI customization builders. So presentation builders will define that how the application or the piece of the information is gonna look like, while the UI customization builders will help you to achieve the Web 2.0 functionality or the rich UI functionality. It also helps you to define the layout in the runtime itself. So now, if the same application has to be extended to the mobile or the smartphone or the tablet, what we have to do, we have to just add on one more builder, which is builder for mobile UI. And now once this is installed, we can then say that use the profile for the mobile devices, which is a smartphone, and now on the runtime it will automatically convert the UI as per the mobile UI theme. So I have got a question. Can I install this factory tool in all type of OS like Mac, OS, etc.? Yes, you can very much do that. You can use it on Windows, you can use it on Linux, you can use it on Mac OS. So now let me just move to the next slide. So what is model? Model is nothing but a set of the builders. So when we put so many builders together to create a model or to create a process, that is called as a model. Now on top of a model, we can apply the profiles. So what is a profile is, you can relate it to like variations can be either to roles or the groups. So if you have different roles like administrator or the salesperson or the IT admin or the HR, finance, so these are the different roles, or you can say them as a groups. Groups can be defined like the different departments have the different groups. So for each role or for each group, you can have a different piece of information displayed. Using profiles, what you can do is you can generate multiple applications. So you write the code once. Now on that particular code, you apply a profile for say HR profile, and then you say deploy. So for the HR profile, it will deploy the application. It will change or it will append or it will edit the code on the design time or on the runtime. Same way for the different profiles, you can have different UI available. Profile selection, profile can be mapped using group membership of portal or LDAP, or you can define it based on the user attributes like the username and password, and then can map it to some other database or your file system based on the locale. So you can have different profiles based on the locale. So if it is a Indian, you can have a different profile, maybe the Hindi profile. If it is a Gujarati, then you can have a Gujarati website or the Gujarati display along with the Gujarati font getting displayed on the UI, a J2EE role, or any custom criteria. So if you have some specific custom criteria where you want to define the application behavior based on those custom criteria, yes, you can do that. So it regenerates the code, software code based upon the inputs passed to the builders. It's similar to the process of recalculating a spreadsheet. So it is just like we generally write code in different technologies where we provide inputs to the methods or the functions, and based on those inputs it gives you one output. Same way the process is here. You define what is the input. As an input you give it the profile or the role or the group, and based on that input it will identify that what is the output or the UI or the information it has to show. So as you can see over here, putting it all together, you can have different profiles like your sales VP, sales manager, sales rep, and then you have a different models available. Now this regenerating engine will take these two inputs, match these two inputs, and will create multiple instances on the runtime. So if a salesperson is logged in, he may see the first application, the very first application on the right hand side. If it is a management person, he might see the second output. Or if it is some other role, then he might see a different data available on his portal or the application. I just got one more question. The question is, any application designed using WEF can be imported and altered in any IDE like Eclipse, etc. As I said earlier, yes, Web Experience Factory WEF is also built on top of Eclipse, which is Helios. You can export this application and import this application in some other tools, but there will be few limitations because as the way I'm explaining you, the features of the builders and the models are provided by WEF only. So if you will try to export these and import this, the code will be there, but you will not be able to customize it the manner you can do in the WEF. You can certainly export this application, you can have the source code with you, you can import that source code into some other. Yes, you can very much do that. I hope that answers your question. So moving to the next slide. As a Portlet factory component, there are two components. One is the developer tool, which is the Portlet factory or the Web Experience Factory Designer. Till the 7.0, the factory was called as a Portlet factory. With 8.0, the latest version which has been released, it is now called as Web Experience Factory. So you might heard this name written on, you might heard this or read this name on some pages. So don't get confused. Portlet factory and the Web Experience Factory is the same thing. On the server side, it requires component which is called as the runtime technology, which is bundled with the IBM Portal server. It can also be deployed on the IBM WebSphere application server. There are so many samples which are available on Web Experience Factory Wiki. In the end of the demo, I'll show you all those links. I'll take you through all that information, how you can download that and how you can import and run those samples. So you don't have to write everything from the scratch. The biggest benefit of using IBM Web Experience Factory is it provides you so many things out of the box that you don't have to be worried about that how you wanna build it from the scratch. You can simply download it, customize it as per requirement, and you are ready to go. So it is the single platform, right, which provides you functionality to develop one application and deploy it on the for the multiple scenarios or the multi-channel. Now we will be talking more about this. So there are two approaches when we talk about multi-channel application. One is building native mobile application. Here, if you understand, for each and every device along with each and every version of the operating system, you have to create a unique application. For an example, if we talk about iOS, so in iOS for the 3.0, you have to have a different application. For 4.0, you have to have a different application. With the 4.1 or 4.2 get released, you have to test that application again, or maybe you have to customize that application again. Same way for the Android, you have to have a the other version of the application. So now if you combine all these scenarios, you will see that you are maintaining more than 20 applications at any point of the time. Now managing those applications can be very time consuming as well as very costly from the organization perspective. So what is the alternative to overcome this challenge? Is you can use the web technology, you can use the HTML5, CSS and JavaScript based rich UI based application which can be open in the browser and can provide you all the relevant information within a click. So if you are looking for that application which we recommend, then you have to use Web Experience Factory. So this is where Web Experience Factory comes into the picture. It provides a set of highly automated tools for developing mobile web applications. Now if you are looking, although it is not scope of today's discussion, but if you are looking natively installable application for the device, there is one more component which is called as the Worklight, IBM Worklight, which gets integrated with this IBM Web Experience or the WEF IDE tool. Now using these tools, you can create native application and can deploy it on your infrastructure. But today we will not be covering that. We will be talking only about how you can use the single code and create UIs for the multi-channel. So that's all about building multi-channel web experience. Now let's skip this. And so as for the web application, it provides you so many out-of-the-box connectors and other utilities. Same way for creating mobile web application, it provides you so many resources out of the box. Like you have mobile list and detail service consumer wizard for creating the application within minutes. You have data layout builder, you have page navigation builder, geolocation builder, you have got mobile UI theme and rich data definition library. So all these are provided to you out of the box. Now using these features, you can develop application in 10 to 15 minutes. I will point out to you a demo on YouTube, which will show you that within 13 minutes how you can develop a multi-channel application from the scratch. I am not showing you all those demos because these have all been recorded and hosted on public scenarios, so anybody can go and watch these demos on their leisure. I am concentrating more on covering what are the technology sets or the capability this IDE or the tool provides. Then I'll point out to you the relevant set of information through which you can go on your leisure and get the information as required. So moving to the next set is the page navigation builder. It defines that how the navigation list should look like. On the first hand, you can see that it's a navigation list, one item below to the one item, right? And second is the navigation list with grouping, where you have grouped multiple options, and then you have the tabs. So on the top hand side, on the top side, you can scroll through the tabs and have the information. You can also use HTML5 geolocation. So geolocation is something which, using the GPS functionality in the smartphone, can tell you that what is your lat and long, what is your latitude and the longitude. So these two information can be provided to the server, and server can do the calculation, and based on your location it can provide you some results. Like if you are standing at some place and you want to check out that what are the nearby branches to me, you can simply open this, open the bank's website or the application in your smartphone browser, and there you can say this is my location, and then you can search for the results. So you don't have to provide any input. It will automatically fetch the information from your GPS locator and will forward that information to the server for the further processing. So this is the HTML5 geolocation feature. Now to incorporate the same in your application, the builder is provided you out of the box. So you have to simply customize or provide the option or change the properties as per your requirements. You don't have to write the code. Same way, it also provides you UI themes. So you have multiple UI themes. It also provides you responsive UI theme, which I will be showcasing you very soon. Using responsive theme, the same very interface can be viewed on multiple devices. General in traditional manner, how it happens for the desktop, you create a separate UI. For a tablet, you create the separate UI or the theme, and for the mobile, you create a separate UI or the theme. Now tomorrow, if you have to add one more piece or add some piece of the information, what you have to do, you have to change or the edit or update the three user interfaces, the UIs, right? But with the help of the responsive theme, now you don't have to be worried for that as well. What you can do, the same very UI can be seen on multiple devices. It automatically adjusts the information. So I'll showcase you one. I'll showcase you one example for that. Let me just share it with. Just a moment, please. Show my. This is the website, the application or the portal site which we have built for the demo purpose using Web Experience Factory. Now here, if I show you the user agent which is currently being used as the desktop browser. Now if I change the user agent of this browser to, for say, iPad, you will notice few changes in the application. It will take a moment to fetch the information. Please bear with me. Oops, it has logged out. Let me just log in back. Now, if I show you here, using the responsive theme, what will happen? It will automatically recognize the length and the width of the browser or of the display screen, and based on that resolution or the space which is available, it will automatically try to fit the text. I'm just trying to resize it smaller. So I'm trying to resize the window smaller. Now, as the window is getting smaller and smaller, you can see the white space which was there on the left hand side and the right hand side. Is getting reduced. Sorry, just right. So here you can see the text is getting reduced. Now if I try to make it more smaller, you will notice that the top image which is there will start cropping from the right hand side. So just notice this. I'm just trying to small the window, making it more smaller. The picture is getting cropped, the text is getting readjusted, right? So what it says, the same very much UI. If you are seeing it on the tablet, the space which is available to you to read the information is less in comparison to the space which is available generally on the laptops or the desktops. So it automatically sees that how much space is available, and it automatically try to sorry, fit the information as per the space available. Now, if I take it to a level where it turns into screen size like iPhone or some other, here you can see the main image which is there is cropped to a very small level. The other images which were there on the side by side has automatically come down to bottom to the text. So now on a single instance, I can see or I can read the whole information. I don't have to scroll it left to right. It can automatically do that for me. Previously, the icons were coming on top. Now, because I'm using a smartphone, I can simply drag and drop the icons from top itself. I just resize this to the maximum, and now here you can see that the layout now is in full page mode. So it is the same very much URL, the same theme. This is called as the responsive theme. So IBM Portal and Web Experience Factory both supports responsive themes. We provide you few out of the box samples to create such themes. Isn't it amazing? let me just switch back to my presentation. In the meanwhile, I have got one more question, and it says, can I use phone gap? So phone gap is generally used to create installable applications on the phone. Yes, you can use that, and you can create a hybrid application using these two features. So you can create application using phone gap, where it will be installed on the device itself, and using the phone gap, the installed application, using the hybrid mode, you can call these URLs. So this way it will solve both the purposes. Now using HTML5, in my later slides I'll be talking about, you can also utilize offline capabilities, which I'll be showcasing you as well. Let me just move to the next slide first. So here is one example for sales order application mode. So on the desktop, it may look like a different way. On the smartphone, because the space is very limited, you may have a different view, and on the tablet, you might have a different view. But to create all these views, you don't have to write the code. That's the objective. You have got the builders available with you. You have to just define the builder. You have to just tell them that these are the profiles. One is for the desktop, second one is for the smartphone, and third one is for the tablet. And using these three profiles, it will automatically build these UIs on the runtime. So here we are talking about sample offline iPad application using HTML5. So let me just showcase you this in a moment. So this is, let me just refresh it first. Okay. So this is the UI which we are talking about. Now, because I have opened it in the browser, it is coming this way. Here what I can do, I can provide all information, and it can save that information locally. So now if you see over here, when I say save form, it has saved this form using HTML5 local caching functionality on the device itself. Now once connected, what I can do, I can simply say submit save form. Now it will take and send the information to the server. So we can also create offline applications using Web Experience Factory. Just switch it back to the presentation. So with the 8.0, we have introduced a few new things, like now you have new user experience with Dojo Mobile tooling, slide in and out effect, scrollable panes, new mobile widgets. So all these are part of the new UI theme which we have introduced. You also get client-side architecture, like this one which I showed you very recently. So you can use the offline caching functionality, and once connected, then you can push the data to the server. Using Dojo Mobile tooling capabilities, you can create a very intuitive and rich UI. New out-of-the-box themes. And you have data layout builder support for theme controlled styling. So you can define that how the content should look like. And you can also do one thing, you can export HTML for customization, and then you can provide this HTML to the designers. so that they can do their job, and once it is done, you can provide back that information as a part of the model, and whenever the model is going to run, it will automatically fetch the information, fetch the latest HTML, and will replace or update the UI. So what you have to do is simply you have to right click and say export HTML for customization. This will create an HTML file. So then you can use your HTML design tool to edit the layout and update the information. Now next time whenever the model is generated, whether it's a design time or at the runtime, if there is any new request, it will automatically use the latest HTML design and incorporate the code generated from the model. Here, this tells you that how you can see different views or the different information based on the profile. Here you can see profile, by default it is browser. You can have a smartphone, Android, BlackBerry, iPhone, iPad. So you can define your own profile itself. Now based on this profile, the layout, the information can be changed. It also provides you integration capability with using the CMIS, which is Content Management Interoperability Service Builder. So you can get the content from FileNet and SharePoint 2010, and these content can be provided as a part of the list or the way you want on your website. Again, the connector is provided with Web Experience Factory IDE itself. Moving to the next slide. So this is sample comparison. How IBM Web Experience Factory can help you when you compare it with the normal Java Portlet development tool or some other Portlet tool. So it provides you so many out-of-the-box things. It's a model-based development. It's 150 plus builders, quick to learn. So anyone who may even not have the Java, the understanding of the Java technology or the coding functionality can develop application, even the multi-channel application using Web Experience Factory. It also provides you backend connectors, which are called as the builders. For example, for SAP, PeopleSoft. With the very general development skills, people can build the website. People can learn these by themselves, and it does not require more to 3 to 5 days of time to understand it. So here are the key Web Experience Factory wiki resources. I'll show you what are the links and how you can use that as per your convenience to learn more. So I have shared my browser here. Now this is the place from where you can download the trial version or evaluate it for 60 days. So this evaluation version, I believe, is only available for Windows, but the final product is available for all the other operating systems as well. This is IBM Web Experience Factory wiki. All the documentation related to the product, articles, and everything is hosted here. So you can simply come to this place and look out for the information. This is a community which is hosted on Developer Works. If you are not registered, you can simply go and register yourself free of cost. So this community consists all the information, all the important related bookmarks. You can have the blogs, what is latest is happening, forums. So if you are facing any question, you can go and post a question on the forum and the community might help you. Or if you have purchased or your organization has purchased IBM Web Experience Factory or the IBM Portal server, you get dedicated IBM support. So in that scenario, if you are having any concern, query, or you want to understand that how exactly you can build it, you can ask IBM dedicated support team. These are the few articles which are hosted on IBM Web Experience Factory wiki again. Same way, you have best practices as well available. Now here, this is the site which tells you what are the samples and techniques which are available. So if you are looking for building a PDF generator portlet using IBM Web Experience Factory, you can simply go on this link and download it, the code. Here it is Web Experience Factory samples directory. So if I just scroll it down, you can see there are so many samples which are available. If you want to connect it to the REST services or the web services, here are the samples which are available. Connecting it with the SQL or the database services, the builders are available over here. Other data sources like People, PeopleSoft, SAP. Data access techniques, UI. So you can get all the sample codes, all the builder from here. So these are the general sample codes. Builders generally are provided with the IDE itself. So when you install IDE, you're going to get all the builders. But if you're looking some additional sample or the source code, you can download it from here. This is a simple page, Learning Web Experience Factory, which gives you all the step-by-step approach that how you can learn, how you can start, and after what topic you should learn. So it will give you all the related links. It has got everything in a single page at a single place. So I highly recommend that you start using, start learning using this place, which is Learning Web Experience Factory. And then I'll recommend you to see these videos which are available for videos for new Web Experience Factory users, which gives you all the concepts, getting started, and the tutorials. What are the builders, what are the models, how to create your first project, your first application, how to deploy it, how to connect it with the database. So all the sample codes and step-by-step approach is available over here. You have to just go and see these videos. Generally, these videos are on the length of around 10 minutes, not more than 15 minutes, any of them. So you can watch these videos. whenever you feel like. So I have got one question. Is it completely depends on JavaScript? Dojo is the JavaScript component. So if you are looking for client-side functionality of rich UI, the Dojo functionality depends on the JavaScript. But apart from that, in the backend, it majorly happens using Java technology, not the JavaScript. On the server side and using the IDE, it generates code in the Java technology. But on the client side, when you are viewing it through the browser, the UI label Ajax technology and refresh and all the rich UI component which happens, generally it happens through the Dojo widgets or the Dojo builders which are based on the JavaScript. So that's all from my side. If you have any questions, I'm gonna wait here for your questions. I will be more than happy to take any question.
I've assigned you some questions. Weber, can you see them in the questions pane?
Yeah, I am able to see 4 questions for which I have already replied. I have already talked about it. Are there any other questions? You can send it. Yeah, I got just one more. It's, can we plug in all the, hold on. Yeah, just a moment. So I've got 2 new questions. For understanding Web Experience Factory, is it required to have a knowledge of Portal and Portlets? The answer is absolutely no. As you can, basically you can go through some videos which I just pointed out to you, and using the Portal Factory, this Web Experience ID itself, you can create applications. You don't have to be worried about the Portal or the Portlet. It is just a checkbox. When you say deploy, you can also checkmark as deploy as Portlet. So in that scenario, it will automatically convert that application into Portlet. Otherwise, you can very well deploy this on top of your application server and use it. The next question is, can we plug in all the major web application servers in the IDE, or do we export the WAR and deploy it outside of the IDE? Since it is based on Eclipse, you can integrate it with all the application servers, but I think it is all the functionality is not going to work on top of all the application server or the portal servers, because the functionality which is written by the IBM primarily works on IBM platforms only. So if you are trying to export this and use this functionality on some other, I am not sure whether it is going to work or not. So I think, are there any other questions?
No, that was all, Mr. Weber, for today. Those were the only questions we had. I'm really thankful I'm really thankful to you for conducting this session. It was a great one. I would also like to thank all our participants for the support in making this webinar a success. The recording of this session would be available on techgeek.com by tomorrow. Thank you all. Have a great evening.